training that we are currently running is part of the reason why I said, okay, line by line, let us do the two so that we just have enough things to throw around to people, okay, with this short time that we have to do the training. So let's get started today. The first thing I've told us that Zoho Books is like one of the easiest software out there that you can easily master. Once you master Zoho Book, then it becomes easier for you to go to other accounting software, right? You want to migrate from Zoho Books, you want to try other accounting software and all that. So it's very important that you at least have a foundation. So every foundation you have helps you to solidify your knowledge, you continue to build on it and all that. So um, it's very easy. Most times when we are taught accounting software, the majority of time they always only teach you what is happening on the surface. They may not tell you what will make you a professional in that accounting software. So today we are going to look at how to set it up in case you are called by any organization, help us to set up our accounting software, help us to do this, help us to do that. Even if you get to a company where they don't even have any accounting software at all, and all they have been doing before now is just manual accounting. You can just come there, just set it up for them and all that, and then make your life easy on the job. Okay, so quickly, without wasting time, I've given us a file, which is the chart of accounts that we're going to be using, like a replica, something that we're going to be doing. A lot of people, they have different organizations that they are currently working in. Some have different business ideas, okay? So we want to make sure that all these business ideas, we are able to get an accounting software for it. So we are able to create a company for it that can actually, is like, an accounting software is like we creating an existing company or bringing it online. You already have that company, can be running already, probably you're already buying, you're selling, you're already operational, right? You need to create that company again on accounting software so that the accounting software is now on the same level frequency with your company, right? You're going to continue to update it so that it's going to be on the same frequency with the company that you have on ground. I just said I should just talk about those so that anyone that needs that information can easily make use of it. So let's quickly go and look at what, mute your mic, please. Let's look at what we'll be using today. I think I sent us, let me check for the file. Yeah, so let me click on this Zoho Book chart of accounts. So let's check this one. Okay. So, yeah, so I've sent out this chart of account, right? So I believe the majority of us should have this chart of account. In case you don't have this chart of account, I can still share it on the group because after our first introductory class today, the next stage is that we're going to now create our chart of accounts on Zoho Books. So we have something like a replica of what we want to upload on Zoho Books. So normally, our chart of accounts usually is made up of, we use the element of account to actually create the chart of account. So we have 5 elements of account basically, which is your assets, your liability, your equity, your income, and then your expenses. So your expenses now, we broke it down into 3 components. So the first expense is like very close to the business. We sell so and so. We need to incur so and so because we are selling this kind of product. So this expense is very important. So it's after, let's assume there's shortage of funds, right? If you have your cost of sales and you have other expenses like administrative expenses, probably you have salaries you are owing. Do you think the company will leave cost of sales and come and attend to salaries that you are owing? No, because they know that this cost of sales, they must incur this because they are into this kind of business, okay? So I'm just trying to let us know how important cost of sales is. That's why we're having it first before we have other expenses that follows. So let's quickly go to our Zoho Books and look at what we need to do on Zoho Books. So I'll just click on um, a new, I open my Chrome browser. Then here, you just type Zoho, Zoho Books. So you see a lot of drop down. So just click on Zoho Books. Once you click on Zoho Book, I want to believe that majority of us, we must have created our company on Zoho Books. But in case you've not created your company on Zoho Books, let's quickly have a quick walk down of what needs to be done. The first thing is click on this powerful accounting software for your company. Once you click on it, then you have this interface, right? So on this interface, you can easily look
Sorry,
at the
sir. Someone else is sharing its screen, so we can't see your screen. Someone else is presenting. Ayomide is presenting,
oh
so we can't see your
Ayomide.
screen.
Can see it.
Okay. Ayomide, can you stop presenting? Ayomide Asuni, can you stop presenting? Okay, so thank you. Let's be orderly, please, so that we won't have this kind of issue. Okay, thank you. So as I was saying, okay, okay, so no issues. Please don't do that again, Mr. Ayo. I don't know, maybe that's a mistake or I don't know. So now here we are. We have this is the interface of Zoho Books. So if you can see the interface now, just give me like give a thumbs up. Let me be sure we are actually together. So let me see. Yeah, fine. So we can see what I'm doing now. That's beautiful. So let's now continue. So once you go to your Chrome browser and you type Zoho Books, okay, this is the first interface that you see. Under this interface, you can check a lot of things, a lot of information that you need. For instance, the features of Zoho Books will be here. You can quickly glance through it and get yourself acquainted with what you can actually do. The core features of Zoho, these are the things that Zoho can actually do for you. You can create quotes on Zoho Books. You can do your invoicing. You can do your sales orders, bills. You can do your purchase order. You can decide to work on projects, banking, inventory, expenses, documents, reporting, and online payment. So all these are very important, and these are most of the core functionality of almost every accounting software. Now, I can also tell you for free that if you can learn Zoho Books very well, when you go to other accounting software, it becomes very easy for you to understand what needs to be done because we're going to take it one step at a time. After this is the next thing to do, this is the next thing to do, and then you know what needs to be done. So after that, you can look at the effortless accounting. You can do accounting on your mobile phone, right? If you like, you can work with an Zoho ecosystem, like a Zoho ecosystem. You can collaboration and portal management. You can do that. Then smart automation. Then another thing that you can also look at is in case you have a bigger organization and you feel that you want to learn about Zoho Books pricing. So Zoho Book is actually very affordable. You can see here we have 3,600 naira in case you want to go for the standard version. You want to go for the professional version, you can go for 7,600. Then we have the premium plan is 11,600. Though all of them, they are discounted. You can see that the actual price, they cost it out, right? So we don't know when this actual price will take effect, but currently this is the amount you are going to pay for them. Then here, all the core functionality. When you're using the free plan, you have all these to yourself, right? You can use one user plus one accountant, and that is that. Then for this other one, for the startup, okay, for this one, we have the standard. You can have as much as 3 users, and this one you just pay 3,600. For this other professional, okay, you can have up to 5 users, right? It enables you to send emails, you customize your email, your voice, and then the chat support. And then the last one is a premium version. This premium version is very good for a very big organization. Under the premium version, you can have 10 users at a go, use the Zoho Books. And then you can come and look at all these other things that is listed here, because all these things also are very, very important. So once we're done with this, let's see if we can go back to where we were. Let's go back to where we were. All right, so this is where we were. So what you need to do is that the first thing you need to do is you just go to, in case you don't have any account before, just come to this place and click on sign up now. Okay, so when you click on sign up now, okay, so it's telling me that looks like you are already logged in. So that is for me. Let's assume I'm not logged in and then there's someone else who wants to create an account. We can easily do that from here. So let me see, access Zoho Books. So before I continue, I want to ask, is there anybody on this call that actually doesn't know how to create uh, a new company? I dropped a video and I expected everybody to have done the needful. If you are on the call, you don't know how to create a company, you can type in the chat box, let me know that you can't. If you can't create a company, you don't know how to create a new company on Zoho Books, can you write it on the chat box? Let me know that you don't know how to do that. Don't unmute your mic, please. Then Mr. Sunday or Molade, do you have anything you want to say? Your hand is up. Okay, Mr. Sunday, do you have anything you want to say? Okay, so if you don't have anything you want to say, okay, so a lot of people are saying they can't create an account on Zoho Books. So because of that, I need to stick those on how to create an account on Zoho Books. So you might not be permitted to talk now, but maybe when I ask you a question, I can attend to you. So I will lower all everybody's hand now. So a lot of people can't create, they don't know how to do that yet. So let's try and do that. Okay. Okay, so a lot of people don't know how to create a Zoho Books account. Fine. So we work on that. So I think that is enough. And a lot of people, majority wins the vote. So let's come back to where we are. So let me quickly do something here. So let's repeat the process. So the process is very easy. But before I do that, let me be sure that our call is still recording. Okay, so our call is still recording. So you come to a new tab like this. Then on your Zoho book, this thing, I don't know what it's calling now. On this your Zoho Books, you just type Zoho Books. Then you see a drop down for Zoho Books. Okay, so you see a drop down for Zoho Books. I hope the call is not distracting us. Okay, so you see a drop down for Zoho Books, then Zoho Books. Then you just select that one that is saying Zoho Books. So once you click on it, the first thing you see when you open Zoho Books is this thing you are seeing here that say powerful accounting software for your company. So all you need to do is just click on it. Once you click on it, then it's going to, you are going to see this interface. So what I want to do is, since it's saying I'm already signed in, I want to log out. So you can, if you check this right hand side corner, you see that something that looks like an image is showing here on this right hand side corner. So I want to click on it. Once I click on it, then I'll click on sign out. Okay. So I've signed out already. So now what I'm going to do is I want what you are not permitted to talk on the call, please. You're not permitted to talk on the call, except if there is something urgent that you want to do. So please, can people switch off their video? Okay, who is putting on his or her video? Kindly switch off your video, please. Okay, so Okon, Mr. Is it Okon or Chukuyem? Okay, let me
Yes,
listen to what you want to say. Yes.
I can't see your screen. Nothing is showing. Just your name.
Okay, is it the same for everybody?
No, sir. That means you will need to log out and log in again.
Okay, so you've heard it. Kindly log out and log in again. If you can't see my screen before you call my attention, please kindly log out and log in before you complain. Okay, so thank you. Log out and log in again before you complain. All right, so that is that. So let's go back to what we are doing. So I've logged out now, so we can start the process again. So I want to do something. If there's anybody that have a that does not have any company and you want me to help you create a company, how will I do that? Can you just type your email address on the chat? When you type your email address on the chat, then just that I wouldn't like to have your password. Okay, let me see if I can use another. Let me use another. Somebody said, I can't see my screen. I might need to log out and log in again. So let me try and use another password, okay, and another email address. So let's come to this, our interface. Then you see where it's saying sign in. No, you don't want to sign in. Just click on sign up now. When you click on sign up now, the first thing you're going to see is let's get started. So right here, you need to put your company name. What is your company name? What company do you want to create? So let's say you want to create let's say I want to create, what company can I use? Okay, let me continue with the normal company I'm creating. Okay, AJ Accounting Services. It's actually very easy to create your company. So I've written the name I want to use. That is fine. Then the next thing I want to do is the next thing I want to do is this. I want to put an email address that I can always remember. So the email address I'm going to put is, let me just put an email address. Sorry. Hello? Good evening. Yes, sir. Yeah, probably is full. So maybe the class is full. We have over 100 people on the call already. Yeah. Yes, there is. Yeah. It will. It will be sure. Yeah. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, wait, hold on. Just give me 2 minutes. I'm coming. Let me see. Hold on. Just give me 2 minutes. All right. So yeah. So let's continue now. So I've gotten an email address I want to use. So this is the email address I want to use. Then I say at gmail.com. So once I have this done, so the first thing you do is that after you've imputed your company name, the next thing you want to do is you want to impute your email address. Kindly mute your mic. Mute your mic. Mute your mic. So next thing you want to do after you've imputed your company name and you've imputed your email address, the next thing you want to do is you want to put your password. Please make sure your mics are muted. If your mic is on, I might need to take you off the call. A lot of people can't join the call already. They are saying the class is full, but you are on the call and you are disturbing the class. Okay, so let's continue. So once you've done what I said you should do, you put your email address here, put the company name you want to use here, then put your email address. The next thing you want to do is you want to put the password. So the password, I'll just put any password over here. So once you put your password, the next thing is that you want to indicate whether you are a Nigerian or you are not a Nigerian. You want to indicate whether you're a Nigerian or you are not a Nigerian. So if you cannot see my screen, try and log out first before you complain. Log out first before you complain. So if you can't see my screen, please on the chat box, can you just type if you can't see my screen or not? Type if you can't see my screen so that I can know that you can't see my screen. So if you cannot see my screen, try and log out, then you log in again. So thank you. Okay. Now we continue. So once you have the name of your company, you have the email address you intend to use, the next thing you want to put is your password, a password that you can always remember. So we come over here, I'll put the password. Okay. So this person that's on mute said is on mic. Mute your mic. If you continue to distract the class, you are just going to be wasting the time we have to use. Okay, so Madam Tracy, you can't hear anything. Kindly log out and try and log in again. Okay, please with the yes. So the record will be sent to the group. Okay, so we come here. So once you've done that, you've imputed your password, the next thing you want to do is you want to select what country are you? Are you in Nigeria or you are in whatever country you are, you select the country of your choice, okay? So once you select the country of your choice, the next thing you want to do is that you want to look at these terms. There are certain terms of service that you need to read if you have the time, or privacy policy. If you have the time, you read them, okay? If you don't have the time, you can just go ahead and just click, I agree to the terms. Since whether you read it or you don't read it, you want to use Zoho Books, you must agree to their term. So the next thing you want to do is that you want to click on create my account. So let me click on create my account. Let's see what happens. You click. So before I click on create my account, let's have a walkthrough again. The first thing is that you need to put your company name, which I've done. The next thing is that you need to now put your email address, which will be a functional email address. Then you also put a password that you know that you are going to remember, right? After you've done that, the next thing is that what country are you? So the country you are matters. Okay, so you put your country. So I just needed to still consent that email address. Then when you put your email address, something that you will remember, then you also put your country. Then the next thing you want to do, you click on I agree to the terms and services and the policy of Zoho. The next step is you want to click on create my account. So now it's creating the account already. So yeah, so it's not asking us to do this. So I want to put, please enter the captcha, whatever it is. So we now say WD4452. So whatever it's asking you to do to show that you're not a robot, you need to also, your data will be in the US. Okay, so just click on yes. So it has sent an OTP to my line. It's expecting me to confirm. Okay. So it has sent an OTP to my account and it wants me to confirm or to enter the OTP. So I have it over here. Then I will just enter the OTP. Okay. If you can't see my screen, kindly exit the call and try and join again. But I'm just worried that whoever exits the call may not have opportunity of joining the call again. Okay, so that's just the issue. But even if you are not able to see my screen, just keep trying. Okay, keep trying in order for you to access the screen because others can see the screen. So I guess it's a network. And some people are even saying they can't hear me. So it's a network. So just keep trying whatever you want to do. Okay. So just keep trying whatever you want to do, and let's continue the class. So the next thing you want to do, now you have the name of the organization. You can see that here there is this red asterisk that is telling you that these are the relevant things that you must put. You must put them on this page. You must put organizational name. That's the first thing. So we want to maintain this organizational name. The next thing we want to do is that what industry are we? Because the industry you are going to select here will determine the kind of chart of account that they are going to give you. Okay, so whatever industry you select here determines what chart of account they are going to give you. So if you click on this drop down, okay, you can see different industry. The first one is agency and sales or sales of house. Okay, that's the first one. The next one is agriculture, arts and design, automotive, construction, consulting, and so on and so forth. Okay, so education, engineering, entertainment, financial service, food service, and all that, restaurant, fast food. In case, just come and look at all these things and check for the industry that you fall into: gaming, government, healthcare. We have interior design. We have internal, legal, manufacturing. So if you are in manufacturing industry, you can select manufacturing as well. You have marketing, you have mining and logistics, non-for-profit organization, NGOs, trustees, right? So that's where you're going to put your own. Then we have publishing and web media. You can also select that: real estate, rentals, services, technology, telecommunication, travels, hospitality, web designing, web development, writing, and so on and so forth. So let's go back to the top. I want to select something I want to use to teach us. So I want to select automotive industry. So now what I'm selecting, this industry is the industry that they deal with cars, vehicle. You want to sell vehicle, you want to repair vehicle, okay? You want to do vehicle maintenance, servicing. So this industry, this is where they do it. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is that organization location. Now, from the start page, we already selected that we are in Nigeria, so we cannot change this any longer. It means that anytime you are trying to create Zoho account, ensure that at the beginning you select the right country that you want to use. So here, once you get to this interface, you can't change that thing any longer. So the next thing you want to do is you want to select your state and your province. Obviously, I am in Lagos. Okay, so Lagos is the state and Lagos is the province. The next thing you want to do is you want to look at country, currency, I mean to say. Our currency is Nigeria. That is Naira, Nigerian Naira. Then our language now, this doesn't allow me to select language. And you can search. Let's search for English, for instance. English, which is the general language. Let's see, it's going to give us English. Hope I still know how to spell English. Okay, this is G. English. Okay, so this English. So let's see if it's going to stay there. Nothing can stay here. Okay, but they say it's important, but it's not allowing us to put any language. So in case you encounter the same challenge, don't panic, right? So it's not allowing anybody to put any language here. So probably this is one of the complaints that people can tell Zoho, and Zoho can work on that. But let's try and see if we can put any other language that is not English. Let's say Igbo. Okay, so let's search for Igbo and see if we're going to see anything. Nothing. So language is not allowed. It's not allowing anyone to select any language here. Then our time zone is here. Fine. We can change it if you don't like this time zone that you have here. Then at the end of the day, they are giving you some tips. They say configure the tax rate in your organization by navigating to settings/taxes. So they say note, you can update some of these preferences from setting anytime. The language you select on this page will be the default language for the following features, even if you change the language later. So now for chart of account, the language you select here is going to be what chart of account. We read the default language for chart of account, for email template, for template customization, and for payment mode. So now, before I continue, indicate you can hear me and indicate you can see my screen. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I can see my screen. I just want to have that, okay? Thumbs up if you can hear me and you can see my screen. I just want to see many people, more people do that. Okay, so Adiola, Adekunle, you can unmute your mic. You have something to say, or you are just raising your hand? Okay, so I guess he doesn't have anything to say. So I okay, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. So let's continue now. So when you get back to this place, right? Now you are done with all these things. You filled all these things, right? In case yours is allowing you to select language, ensure that the language you are selecting, don't go and put Chinese. If you put Chinese here, your chart of accounts will be reporting as you see Chinese, your email template and every other thing, your payment modes, everything will be showing that language that you select. So make sure if you can select anything here, make sure it's English that you select here, okay? So after you are done with this, you come to the bottom. You will see here, it says get started. So I just want to click on get started. So once you click on get started, then it will take us to the main interface, okay? So it's telling me, do I need it to show me around? I say no, don't worry. I will get it myself. No, thanks. I will explore it myself. So that's fine. So what are the things that we need to do? Now, let's see what we need to do. The first thing is that so this is our interface, right? This is how our interface look like. We can still do some customization if we like. This is our dashboard, right? So this is how our dashboard looks like. We have total receivables. Now for the receivables, if you check your chart of account, you will discover that under your chart of account, you have, so this is Zoho Books. So under your chart of account, you have, so receivable most times is going to be an asset, right? So let's now use this opportunity now. Once we have created our Zoho Books, we've created our account, the next thing we might need to do is, before we start posting or anything, there are certain things that we need to know. One of it is we need to learn, okay? So one of the things that we need to learn is we need to learn how to create items. So your items now, these are the things that you want to sell. The things that you want to sell, let's say you are in the automotive industry. I said you should mute your mic and off your video. Who is this person? Oh yeah, Solar. Can you put off your video, please? Okay, thank you. And mute your mic as well. Mute your mic. Okay, thank you. So please, everybody, from time to time, ensure that your mic is muted so that you won't be distracting me from what I'm doing. Ensure your mic is muted so that you won't be distracting what we are doing, okay? So if you have any question, you can always raise your hand and I will attend to you. Thank you. So we come back to this place. The first thing we want to do is that in our chart of account, we already have a blueprint of what we want our account to look like, right? This is like a blueprint of what we want our account to look like. The 5 elements of account is what we normally use when we are creating our chart of account. So those elements of account, we talk about the assets, right? We talk about opposite of asset. Let's just do what's an opposite. Asset, if it's not an asset, is a liability. Then the next thing is that we have owner's equity, right? After that, we now have income. If it's not income, it's going to be an expense. So we have those 5 breakdown. We have the asset, we have the liabilities, we have the equity, we have the income, and then the last thing is we have the expenses. Now these expenses now, we now book them down in the order of importance. So to the organization, cost of sales is more important to the organization than any other expense. So after we have the cost of sales, we now have our operating expense, right? Operational expense, we have our administrative expense and all that. So now the first thing we want to do is I don't know if we should continue with our setup or we should look at the chart of account. So let's continue with our setup first. Now, the first thing I said is that we might need to create our items, right? So the items we're going to create is, so the first two things we need to do, we need to create our item. Then after we've created our item, we need to come to this accountant. When you click on accountant, then you see all these drop downs, right? From this drop down, we need to search for chart of accounts. So this chart of account is the next thing that we're going to, but to start with, let's first start with items, right? So when you come to your chart of account that you already have, right? So this is your chart of account, just go straight to your income because your item is always linked to your income. So here, I'm trying to create a company. The company I created on Zoho Books is a company that is in the automobile industry. Now, in this automobile industry, right? Okay, so in this automobile industry, we discovered that what comes to us. So let me just quickly give us a breakdown of how the automobile industry works, right? So we are the one that we are rendering service. So we are the company. So you are the customer. You are coming to us to repair your car. So what we do first is that we first of all inspect your car because just like a doctor, we are like doctors. It's like you're coming to a clinic. You're bringing your vehicle to a clinic. So they need to diagnose your vehicle. So there's this income that we call vehicle inspection and diagnostics. So this is one of the incomes, right? That comes to us because you bring your vehicle to us. We need to inspect the vehicle to check what is wrong with your vehicle. Then we tell you that okay, these are the things that we need to fix for your vehicle. So that is what we are talking about. Under our income, we have the first thing that we call vehicle inspection and diagnosis, right? So with this is going to be part of our chart of account. So we can also create an item for this. So we copy it. So what you do is that you copy it like this. You copy it. When you copy it, Ctrl C, then go back to your items, right? So we're looking at items. Sorry, why is my item double? Okay, yeah, because I clicked it and this is dropped down. So the next thing you want to do is you now click on anywhere, click on new, click on this new. Once you click on new, okay, it's asking for name. So just quickly paste this name here, paste the name here, right? So this is the name, and all these things will reflect on your, anything you have under your item is going to reflect in your invoice. So when we have vehicle inspection and diagnosis, is it a good that we're selling or is it a service? So in your chat box, kindly indicate when we are doing vehicle servicing and diagnosis, is it a good that I want to sell or is it a service that we are trying to render? Who can tell me so that I will know that you're following? Okay,
A service, sir.
that is a service we are trying to render.
A
So kindly
service.
mute your mic. I didn't say you say it with your mouth. I just said just type it. Fine. So we know that it's a service. So what we do is that we now come to where here we select service, right? Once we select service, we now say how many units do we want? Do we want to sell? We now say that let's just click on, because if it's something that can be weighed, we would have selected like maybe kilogram or something. But because it's a service, let's just put pieces there, pieces, right? So we just put pieces there. Now the next thing we want to do is that you now come over here. Now under here, you have the sales information. Now how much is the selling price I want to use? Now if this your vehicle inspection and diagnosis, if you have a steady price, that there's a stable price that at every point in time we are going to sell it for so amount. So you can just come over here and say, let's assume the money is 30,000. So we just type 30,000 here. 1, 2, 3. So anybody that is coming for vehicle inspection and diagnosis, we usually collect 30,000 from them. Or to be on the safe side, let's do something like this. Now, because we are going to charge VAT on it, let's do something like this. Let me use plus my VAT plus everything. I don't want it to be more than 21,700. So what I'll do is that I will now come to my calculator, right? Now, now everything, VAT inclusive, everything is 21,700. So what I'll do is I'll come to my calculator. I will now say, so that's my 21,700 is actually 107.5%. Our VAT now is 7.5%. Am I right? So now when you have 21,700, that amount is your 100% plus the VAT. Now let me tell us the way VAT has been calculated, right? I know the service I want to render to you, but because I am an agent of the government, I need to collect VAT from you if I'm into vertible sales, right? So I want to collect VAT on behalf of government. So the 100% is my money, but the 7.5 that I added to it is government money that I'm taking. So that 21,700 is the 100%, your 100% plus the 7.5% that you are collecting on behalf of government. So I will now say, okay, my 107.5%, which is the VAT inclusive, divided by, so I want to get, okay, hold on. Yeah, no, that's not what I want to do. I want to get only 100% of it. I want to take out the VAT from it. I'll now say 100 over 107.5, right? Then I'll multiply 21,700. So I'm going to have something like this. So it's going to be fragmented. I'm going to have something like 20,186.04,651. So at the end of the day, once I apply my VAT on it, it's going to give me 21,700. So I don't want to be doing that mathematics all the time. Like I need to start whenever I want to put, I need to start taking away. I know that the service, the inspection and everything, diagnostics is 21,700 plus the VAT on it. Okay. But I don't want to be doing that math every time. So what you need to do is that you need to put 100%. That's your own money. Don't include government money to it, because government money, you calculate it on your own money. So put your 100% here. I've put my 100% here. That means I don't put VAT inclusive. Only put your own money, VAT exclusive. So I put my money here. Then I can decide to put any description that I like if I want to. I can leave that information. Then how much is the cost price? Now, this amount, does it have any cost price? Do I have a vendor that actually renders that service to me? I don't have. So I can just decide to, oh, so this purchase information, sorry, this is not actually allowed. So let me just put like, let me just put one, okay? Because they say it's important. If you like, you can put description. If you like, you can not put description and all that. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to also check this part of the question. So now you have to select a tax that you want this thing to calculate on. But they say no result is found. We are going to go and create tax later. Okay. I'm going to go to create tax later. I'm going to go and create tax later. So let's now come over here and I'll say cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold. Select a tax. There is no tax. So this side now, this purchase information it is what we calculate your cost of sales to you. So it's going to report in cost of goods sold. Why this one? This, your own whatever, is reporting under sales, okay? And it's looking fine. It's looking fine. So what we do is that we can go on and save it. We are done with this first item. We can click save, and automatically we have gotten the first item. Now, don't forget that we are still going back to go and check the chart of account that we have, right? We might still do some adjustments to our chart of account, because under our chart of account, we don't just have one single item for sale. We have different items for sales, right? So we have sales of motor vehicle, sales of workshop income, and all those things. So that is how to create your item. So let's create others also. So let's come to this one, the first one. So anyone that we have created, we just color it like this. We just put a color to show that we are done with it actually. So we just color it like this. Then we can go and click another one. Oh, we have not done this one. Undo. Let me come here. Press F4. If your mic is on, please mute your mic. Okay, so that is the first item that we've created. We've created one item, right? So before we go and create other item, I will want us to also work on our chart of accounts. So with that being said, once it's 9 o'clock, we start working on the chart of accounts so that we know that we are giving each 1 hour, right? We're giving each 1 hour. So that is what we're going to do. Let me come here and click on this. So yeah, so we are giving each 1 hour. Once it's 9 o'clock, we go and work on the chart of account. So the next thing we want to do is that we've created the first item. So your item should be related to your income. So that is one of the first thing you must note. The item you are going to go and create should relate to your income. So these are the incomes that I've listed out, okay? Your item should relate to your income. So the next thing I want to do is that I want to pick on the first item over here, which is going to be sales, vehicle, workshop, income. So that is this. So now I will now copy it. I copy here. I come back to the Zoho Books, right? Yeah, so I come back to the Zoho Books. Now, what I need to do is that I'll just click on add, plus, the plus sign, add. So this one now, I want to put another item I want to sell. This is vehicle workshop income. So let me just throw more light on this. So as we are learning these Zoho Books, I'm also using the style to teach you how the automobile industry, how it operates. So for those of us that wrote the last diet examination for ICANN, under the case study, you discover that the exam that they gave students, okay, most of our students that wrote the exam, they came back with their whatever. Now the exam that they wrote was on the automobile industry, okay, and then that ICANN was trying to tell how lucrative that industry is. So that is why we are also using that industry also for our presentation. So the next income that we are going to also create on our chart of account, which you must also create an item for, is what we call vehicle workshop income. So this vehicle workshop income, what goes into the vehicle workshop income? Okay, so what goes into the vehicle workshop income is either you have procurement, there's a fee that you charge for procurement. So when you are going to the market, you know, the stress of you going to the market to go and procure all those things, okay, for like you want to repair a vehicle, right? You want to repair a vehicle now, you diagnose the vehicle, then you discover that that vehicle we need so spare parts, right? So we always have procurement officers. So that procurement officers, you are paying the procurement officer, right? Salary. So now, normally, if you don't have a procurement officer, you might need to go and be buying it yourself, or you might need to contract it to somebody to go and be buying it for you. So that procurement officer is being paid. So there is a fee that we also charge, which is called procurement fee. So anything procurement fee, then we have what we call sundry. There's another thing they call sundry. Sundry is like in case we have cost the vehicle already, but in case there is any other thing that comes up, maybe we are topping for oil for your engine, right? Then we now discover that there is a kind of leakage and the oil got wasted. So before we will call on the client to come and pay more money for oil, before we check the sundry account. Do we charge sundry on this vehicle? Okay, if there's a sundry income that we charge, it's from that sundry income that we pick the money to go and replace that oil that is wasted. So sundry income is very important. Then also the service charge that we are also charging on that vehicle. So all those three income, they go into the vehicle workshop income, right? So all those three income goes into the vehicle workshop income. So that is fine. So now this is also a service. We want to click on service, right? So once we click on service, then we also want to select pieces. We select pieces here. Once you select pieces here, fine. Then you now come to the bottom, information about it. Now this, your workshop, vehicle workshop income is not like your inspection and diagnosis that can have a steady amount. It's not like that. So what you do is that just come here, just put one. Just put one. Now, most of these prices or this selling price that we are fixing, whenever we are creating the actual invoice, we can still edit that place. It will bring it out for you to edit it. So this one, this is the price, right? And where is it reporting to? It's going to report to the sales account as well, okay? But later, when we now impute our own chart of account, right? We will now select something else because we are creating items, and then on our chart of account, we also have a chart of account under income that is called vehicle workshop income. So we create that item for sales so that when we are selecting anything here, is that item that we're also going to be selecting. That sales heading is what we're going to be selecting over here. But for now, all of them is reporting to sales and there is no issue, it's fine. The next thing you want to do is that, do you have any description? You can put your description. Do you want to apply tax? You can apply tax on it, but we don't need to apply tax now since we can always apply tax on our invoice. And that thing is that we've not created the tax for this company yet. We are still going to create it probably from our next class, okay? We are going to create it. Now, the next thing you want to do is that, so we have 1 minute more, then we now go and look at our chart of account very well. So the next thing we want to do is that we now come over to this other purchase information. So this information now is talking about our cost of sales, the cost of goods sold. So what we do, what is the price? If we are selling this thing for so amount, so then I will use one element to one item to explain this. Why at times you might have this your information for your cost of sales, while you're having information for your sales at the top as well. So you can put your description here if you have any description. That is the tax that is going to apply on it. It's not all items that you're going to apply tax on. There are some items that you may not apply tax on. So you can also leave the tax empty. When we come to the actual invoice, we can always apply the tax. Then what do we need to do here? Do we have a cost of sales that relates to this thing? Is there like something that we bought that we are reselling? You know, we can buy something at a particular amount, right, which is the cost of sales. Then we are also issuing it to our customers, so we can have so let me now explain this thing now. When you have something like spare parts, right, probably you want to repair somebody's vehicle. Now you've checked the vehicle. This vehicle, to repair this vehicle, we need to change the headlamp, we need to change the windscreen, we need to do this, we need to do that. Let's assume that those items, they have a constant price in the market. You know that when you are trying to create an item for, because you're going to create invoice, right? You can decide to just create a general spare parts item, that any spare part at all, so that you don't start for windscreen, you don't start creating different spare parts item like that. You can just create one spare parts income account. So anything, if there's a steady amount that we sell those spare parts, you can put that amount here. Then here you now put the selling price. Okay, so here it's going to be like the cost of sales. Why this one is going to be like this actual sales like that. So here we don't have any issue. Let's just put one here also, which you can always adjust for later. So when you put one there, then you are good to go. You can click on save, right? So when you click on save, the second item has been created. So when we now want to make an invoice, we just come to sales. Once you come to sales, right, come to invoices. We are also going to learn how to create customers, okay, but that is not an issue. Just come to your invoice. When you come to your invoice, then you create a new invoice. Once you create a new invoice, then set your transaction preferences. Okay, we'll come back to this later. We'll come back to this later. So how do you want this to be calculating tax inclusive or tax exclusive? So this one, we are going to select this later, not now actually. If item rates are tax inclusive, the tax amount will be round off at the line item level, okay? If item is okay, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, so let's see if I want to add a feed suspected. Okay, that's fine. Then round off in sales transaction, no round off. Then the next thing is do you sell your items at rate inclusive of tax? I've selected tax inclusive or tax exclusive. Then the next one is select any additional charge you will like to add. Any additional charge, enable tax automation if shipping charge. Let's do this. Then the next thing is, do you give discounts at line item and everything? So this is fine. Let's just click on save and continue. Okay, so we can always edit whatever we've done. So here, when you now come to your invoice, right, you will see that certain things are important, like your customer name is very important. You are going to select a customer name. Though we don't have any customer yet, which we are going to create later. I'm also going to tell you, in case you have a company that you have like millions of customers, there's a way you can always extract the customer template, right? Extract a sample customer and go and populate the sheet and come and upload that thing back into Zoho. But I don't want to rush us, okay? I don't want to rush us. When you come over here, right, I'm looking at the items that we've created. Once you come over to Zoho Books, right, then all these are fine, the sales are fine, the subject are fine. So when you come down over here, then you now start selecting item details, start selecting the items, right? Start selecting item. Then here, you can select whether you want to have tax inclusive or you want to have tax exclusive. But let's not bother ourselves about this now so that we don't get confused. So we've seen how to do the item. We've seen how to create items. So for all of us that have items that we have, go and create at least 2 items. That is if you have set up, if you have a chart of account already. I told us that our item, they are related to the income heads that we are expecting, okay? So your items, we are always going to create them from the income heads that you are expecting. So let's leave that. I think we are done with items. We have also done creating our company on Zoho. So the next thing I want to do is I want to now work on chart of account because it's very important for you to understand the dynamics of how to create a chart of account. Because after this training, you might be called on to also set up a company. You want to get the full package so that at the end of the training, you are very, how will I put it? You are well fed, right? So that is that. So let me see if we are still on the call. Are we, let me see. If we are together, give me a thumbs up. That's good. That's good. So we are together. That's fine. So for those that cannot join, they can always access the recorded classes. Okay. So Madam Messi, do you have a question you want to ask? Okay, so I guess that was just okay, that's our own way of giving a thumbs up. Okay, that's fine. But let's now continue what we are doing. So we now continue now. What we want to do now is that we've seen that the first 2 things that need to be done is if I were to advise, I would have suggested that we should do our chart of account first before we come and create our items. Now, it's good that we've created our company, right? Once you create your company, the first thing you need to do at any point in time is, since you have selected the industry that you are already, the software will have created a replica company for you in that industry that you selected. So if you go to your chart of account now and you click on it, you start seeing some things that relate to automobile industry. So let's scroll down if we are going to see anything. Let's scroll down. Okay, let's just scroll down and see if we're going to see anything. So all these are income. Let's look at income now. General income, interest income, late fee income, discount, shipping charge, lodging, purchase discount. So all these are expenses now. Let's see if there's any expense. Or let's go to our cost of sales. Let's see if we have, okay, so we just have only one cost of sales. That means here they expect all the cost of sales to report to only one item or one head. Okay, fine. Let's go and look at our chart of account. This chart of account is fine, but it's not robust enough, or it doesn't really capture everything that our company is into. So we need to go and we create our own chart of account. That's why I had to send you an Excel sheet And this Excel sheet is what we are going to use. So let's quickly look at this chart of account, right? So whenever you have a chart of account, what you are trying to do is you already know that there are 5 elements of account, which I've explained before, which is asset, liability, equity, income, and expenses. So our expenses are divided into 3 sections. We have what we call the cost of sales. We have the ordinary operational expense. Then we have the administrative expense. So now most of these things, they are the same for all organizations. So if you look at our operational expenses, there's nothing special about it. So advertising and marketing expense, travels, transport and travels expense, communication and data, automobile expense, bad and doubtful debt expense, and so on and so forth. So our expense, they are going to be the same. The only thing that is going to be different for all organizations is your cost of sales and your income. So those 2 things, these are the only 2 things that is going to be different for all organizations. And then if you have watched the video I did, you discover that when I was creating my income, immediately I finished creating my income, I copied the income, I put it here, right? Then I now adjusted the front to show that this is cost of sales, cost of sales, cost of sales. So it means that some organization can be so easy to actually create their chart of account. So the most difficult thing to get will be your income streams and also your cost of sales, right? And in this lecture, we are going to make it very easy for you to understand. So your equity can be the same for all organizations. Your asset is almost similar for all organizations. So all organizations, they're going to have cash and cash equivalent. All organizations, we have account receivables. All organizations, we have other current assets, right? All organizations, we have one form of prepayment or the other. All organizations may have inventory, but if we don't have, it's fine. And all organizations, we have property, plant, and equipment. So all the chart of account, they are almost the same for all organizations, except for your income and your cost of sales. Those are the only thing that is going to be unique for all organizations. So how do we create our chart of account? So let's come here. The first thing you want to do is that you want to have what we call the code range. You want to have the code range. When you have the code range, the next thing you want to have is you want to have account class. Then you want to also have your classification. You want to have your codes of account, right? You want to have your description. You want to have your account type. All of them are important. So under our code range, we are just asking ourselves, how many elements of account do we have? We have just 5, right? We have the assets. So let's come over here. Let's just quickly look at the elements of account. You just come over here. I want to make this thing give me a whiteboard marker. Fine. So this is what we have. So the first thing we want to have is to create your chart of account. Number 1, we use the elements of account. Okay, so the elements of account, that we have. So what do you want to call this? Okay, so this is it. How to create the charts of accounts for any organization. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is that note that the first thing you want to do, you must note that, okay, let me do something like this. Let me come here and merge and center. Then I want to give it a color, if possible. Fine, then I want to make it bigger. Okay, then I want to come here. No, I want it to be at the middle. Okay, no, I want to increase the font. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this thing well sorted, right? So let's assume we have it here. So let me undo and make this thing bigger. Okay, let's come here or merge. The merge now, fine. So I think it's better this way. We can see it better this way. So I have to create the chart of accounts for all organizations. So the first thing is that Number one, we use the element of account. So use the elements of account, right? So now the element of account. So what are the elements of account? Number one, we have what we call the assets. We have assets, right? Number two, we have liability. Number three, we are going to have so this is our number three. We are going to have equity. Number four, we are going to have something like our income. Number five, we are going to have our expenses. But don't forget that these expenses, we are going to break it down in order of priority. So the expenses that we're going to have, so out of this expense, right, we are going to now have, so out of the expense, number one, we are going to start with our cost of sales. So our costs of sales is going to be the first expense that we're going to have. Then number two, we are also going to have, number two, they will not talk about any operational income. So operational expenses, operational expenses. So we're going to have that. Number three, we're going to have what we call administrative expenses. Then another thing I also want to let us know is that each of these items, they are going to be further broken down into other section. So for your asset now, so let's talk about this is going to be like your account class. So under your account class, you're going to have asset, liability, whatever. Under your code range, so under your code range, that is the number. So the code range is the number. The code range is actually the number. So that is 1, 2, 3, and all that. So now the number is not just for we are not just joking with the number, right? So now this number 5, for instance, is expenses. So we are further breaking down this number 5. We're breaking it down into cost of sales and all that. So we replace this one by 5. We make this one 5. We make this one 6. Then we'll make this one 7. So that means that our 5 has been replaced now by this. So let me clean away this 5 that is here. Okay, so we now have asset, liability, income. Sorry, asset, liability, equity, income. Then our expense was further broken down into all these. Okay, so this is fine. So the next thing we want to do is that let's now see if we have our code range to be 1. It's telling us that if our code range is 1, it's telling us that whatever code of account we are going to use will also begin with all those figures. So this is our code of account. So our code of account, we also begin with all those. So for our asset, our code of account is going to begin from 100,000. So it means that any asset we are going to have is going to, they are all going to fall under 100,000. Okay, any asset we are going to have, any expenses we are going to have, the code range here is 2. There's going to be 200,000. So 200, 1, 2, 3. Then any equity now is going to be 3, which is going to be 300,000. Then the next one, income is 4, is going to be 400, 1, 2, 3. Then the next one is going to be our cost of sales, right? Cost of sales is 5, which is going to be 500,000, 1, 2, 3. The next one is going to be our operational expenses, which is going to be like 600,000. Then the next one is going to be like our 700,000. So another thing I also want to tell us is that we are going to further break down all these things into other segments. So let me do something first. I want to shift this thing. I want to shift it like this. Okay, fine. This is fine. So I want to shift it like this. Then this one, I want to take this one like this. So let me see. I want to take this one like this. I want to shift it backward to go and replace here. So I come like this and I come and put it. No. Yeah. Okay. Go on. Okay. Yeah. So this is what we are going to have now. So this is what we are going to have. So you can see the way I was able to create all these, our code range and all these, our account class, right? So this is going to be our account class. So our account class, that is asset and so on. Then the code range is this, which I'm going to pick and also bring back here. Okay, so that's that. So all these things are very important. So all these assets are going to further be broken down into the different classes of asset. Under asset, we are going to look at asset based on liquidity, right? Which one is more liquid? The one that is most liquid among our assets is going to be our, so let me come here, let me copy this. So asset now, we further break it down. We have our asset like this. So classes of assets, we are going to have classes of assets, we're going to have something like, let me come here. Sorry. So our classes of assets, the first one we're going to have.
Please move yourself from presenting now.
Okay, somebody is presenting.
Abdul Yakin Adam.
Okay, if you are presenting, please stop presenting. Who is this person presenting? Abdul Yakin Adam. Can you stop presenting? Or do you want me to take you off the call? Stop presenting, Mr. Abdul Yakin Adams.
Please take him out. He appears not to be there.
Okay, let me check. Sorry. Okay, I think he has stopped. So I don't know why people behave this way. He's doing that today. Abdul Yakin. Okay. You are presenting your screen. Can you stop sharing your screen?
That is coming.
Take him out now. Take him out. He's not even the one presenting. Maybe his child or wife or whoever.
Okay. So that's that. All right. So yeah. So that's that. Please let's maintain orderliness. If you discover that you are presenting, kindly undo that. Probably you may not know how to undo that, so you might not blame him. You may not know how to. You may not even know that he's presenting. So that is just that. So let's now continue. I guess we try and join again, probably, and let's continue. So as I was saying, where was I? Okay, I was saying. So this is where we are. So now the asset. Now we've seen the way we got our assets. We see that we are using the element of account, okay, to create our chart of account. The next thing you want to do is that you now further break down your assets into the different categories according to their liquidity. So the first item is going to be asset always. Then in order of liquidity, which is the most liquid, which asset is most liquid that we can easily turn to cash. So obviously it's going to be our cash and cash equivalent. Please reach your mic. Somebody's mic is unmuted. Reach your mic. So now, since we have our cash and cash equivalent, so what are the items that's going to fall under our cash and cash equivalent? Remember that this one is going to be something like so it's going to be something like our, okay, so that is going to be like our classification. We are trying to classify the asset. So this is going to be like our classification. So this is going to be like our classification. So we have cash and cash equivalent. So the first cash and cash equivalent, we're also going to have like a description of those items that are cash and cash equivalent. So the first one is going to be like, let's say we have our main cash account. So the description now, sorry, the code of account that we're going to use, we already know that all assets are going to begin from 100,000. So the first item that we're looking at is the cash and cash equivalent. So that's the classification, right? So what do we do? What do we do to that? The first item, so we'll now say that the code here, let's put code up here. I'm coming. I just want to show us how I was able to create that chart of account that we have. We are going to say our code or our codes. Let's put it as code. So the code now, the first item that we're going to have is going to be 100,000. It's supposed to be 100,000. So let's just do 110. Okay. So it means that it means that all, it means that if your mic is unmuted, kindly mute your mic. So it means that all our assets, they are all going to be 100, right? So if they are going to be 100, then the first class of asset that we've picked, which is like our cash and cash equivalent in order of liquidity, is going to take like 110. So all the cash and cash equivalent, they're all going to take 110. Then the next one will be 111, 112, 113, like that. So the first item here, we can say we have our main cash account. So let's say we have our main cash account. So our main cash account, then we know that it's going to be 110. Then what account type is that? Account type. So when we are searching under our chart of account, what account type is going to fall on? It's going to fall under cash, obviously. So it's going to be a cash. Then the next one we want to look at is that we now say the next one is, let's say we have so let's say cash. We now say something like so we now say something like petty cash account that we are keeping with the HR or the admin people. So admin. So let's assume we have like emergency money that they must keep with them. So this is also a cash account. Fine. Then the next one we are going to have after this petty cash, we can also have another petty cash account that probably they are keeping it with the workshop people. So petty cash account, petty cash account, I put dash, right? Then I say for the workshop that they are using at the workshop. So you can see that this is how to build up on your item. So we've picked asset now, and that's what we're working on. So the next item that we're going to work on also is going to be, apart from this, our petty cash, this is also going to be a cash account. Then the next thing is that, let's say we have banks that we're working on. So let's say we have, so yeah, we have BNK, we have bank. Then we now say like, let's say we have a money point, or any, let's use normal banks. Let's say we have a Providus Bank. So we have Providus Bank. So we now come over here. Here, obviously, is going to be bank. Here is going to be bank. That is account type is going to be bank. Then the next one we can have another bank, BNK. That let's say we have Zenith Bank, Zenith. Oh, I don't know how to spell this thing. Zenith. Okay, Zenith Bank. So we have Zenith Bank, and this obviously also is going to be bank. So you can see that here we are done with our cash and cash equivalent like this. We can add more banks to them. Okay, whatever bank you are using, just add it to them. At the end of the day, come to your codes. Okay, because all these things, they are all petty, they are all cash and cash equivalent. Come to your code, then come to the downside of your code, right? Hold your control key, then drag down or to fill it like this. Then it's going to add from this our 10, it's going to go all the way. Another thing we can do is that we can say, okay, all cash, in case cash want to continue to increase, all cash can be 10, from 10, 11, 12. Then when we now get to bank, we can say, okay, this bank now, we'll now make this one to be 20 instead of 10. We don't want this one to be 10 because we've looked at cash, they will now look at 20. So that at a glance, when we see any code, we know that this code cannot be a cash account. This is a bank account. So we can say all our banks are going to be 20, 21, 22, 23. So we are just using that to differentiate that this is a cash. All these ones, they are cash. Okay. Yeah, all these ones are, no, sorry, not this one. Let me cut this one and put it here. So all these ones are cash, whereas the other is, let me come here. The other is, yeah, so you can see that all cash now, all cash, I just gave them 10, 11, 12. Then when we are done with one section, which is cash, when we come to bank, we now jump from 10, we're now going to 20. So we now say 20, then any bank 21, 22, all bank will be 20, right? All banks will be 20. So here we can say another bank, BNK dash, we can say this is a GT bank. Let's say GTB, fine. So we can have another bank like this. So I believe that with this, we are done with cash and cash equivalent. So in terms of liquidity, all these happens to be very liquid. You can easily convert them to cash. Now, the next thing we are looking at is, apart from all these cash and cash equivalent, the next thing that is liquid is our account receivable, our debtors, people that is owing us, still under asset. We have our account receivable. So we have our account receivable. So there are people that you can easily convert them to cash. So come over here. And the code now is going to be like we are done with our cash and cash equivalent. Cash and cash equivalent, we gave it 10, the other one gave it 20. So yeah, let's give this one. This is also an asset. So it's also going to be 100, 0. Then well, let's now call this one like 30, because we have used 20 to indicate the banks, right? We use 10 to indicate the cash account. So for our cash and cash equivalent, it's going to be 30. Then here we are going to have another name for account receivable. Okay. Then under our account type as well is also going to be account receivable. Now, apart from all this, what is the other thing that is very liquid? Apart from all these, so in order of liquidity, what is the next item that is liquid again that we can also say we want to pick? Does anybody have any idea?
Prepayments.
Okay, so prepayment, those are those things that you paid in advance, right? Things that you paid in advance. So a lot of people want to join this call, but they are not able to join the call. It's unfortunate that we can only access only we can only access only 100 people at a go, right? So let's now continue. Let's continue.
What about our stocks?
Yeah, so hold on. We are coming to that. Just hold on. Just give me 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes. So I was actually talking about people that wanted to join the call that are not able to join the call. So that was what I was actually talking about. So now we've looked at those things. So the next thing we are looking at, apart from this our receivable, and that thing we're going to look at is going to be our other current assets. There are other things that we can also check before we start going to what you mentioned now. Okay, those stock and all those things. So let's call this other one other current assets. So let's say we have other current assets. Let's say here is going to be other current assets. Okay, so other current assets. So we come over here, and the code number is going to be 100. Oh, sorry, 100. Then 040. Now, under our other current asset, we can talk about maybe we made a cash sale for that day, right? We've not been able to take it to the bank. Remember that our cash sales is different from our petty cash. Petty cash is meant to be spent, right? But cash sales, you will need to take it to the bank and go and put it in the bank later. So this is like cash at hand, cash in bank. So it's also going to later become a cash and cash equivalent. So now we have our cash sales. That cash sales now we all go to other current assets. Okay, that is that. Then apart from this, our cash, what other thing is very, very liquid? Let's assume you have your staff, they are actually owing you money, right? Your staff debtors, right? You can have your staff debtors. So let's come over here. You can say, okay, we can have staff debtors. We can have our staff debtors like that. Then we can have, what else can we have? We can have staff work advance, staff work advance until they retire. They are owing us, right? We can also have staff salary advance. Yes, another thing we can also have is we can have withholding tax, withholding tax receivable. So now withholding tax receivable. So that is that. So what do? We now come. Now just know that your withholding tax is actually an income, right? Because when they withhold your tax, when you withhold money from you, that money is still your money, right? It's like they are creating a credit for you, which you can later use to offset your liabilities. So I guess that is that. So you can later use that to offset your liabilities. So we now say Ctrl V, and then this is how we are creating other current asset. Then here we now come over here. We now, sorry, let me do something like this. So come over here. Then you want to fill it like this. So you can see the way I am getting the codes of accounts, right? You can also see the way I'm breaking down the asset into their order of liquidity. So you can see that all these things, you can easily convert all these ones to cash, right? You can easily convert all this one to cash. So it's making sense. The next thing we want to talk about now is when we now talk about our prepayment. Let's now talk about our prepayment. Any expense you paid in advance, any expense that is not due, right? But you have paid ahead of time. So it's also an asset to us. So that is also an asset to us. So prepayment is another asset to us that we need to consider. So under our prepayment, you can have prepaid rent and rate. You can have prepaid insurance. We can have any other prepaid. So the next code, who can tell me what the next code will be? The last one was 40. What will the next one be?
50.
10,050. That's fine. So at least you can see the way we are doing it. So the first one here is going to be prepaid. The motive is not to just rush it, is to let us get it as much as possible, so that even when you go home to try it yourself, you will not feel that you've not been taught properly. So rent and rate. So this is also still going to be other current assets. So let's copy all these other current asset. Let's just put it down. Other current asset. The next one I want to talk about is, let's say we have prepaid insurance, prepaid insurance, right? Then you want to have like prepaid. In case there's any other prepaid, it will fall under this. So prepaid. So here we are going to say prepaid dash others. So any other prepayment that we can have later in life, we fall under this other account. So we can come here and just autofill it. So press the autofill undo, and then we now click it downwards. That's fine. So let's now delete all this one. So the next one we are going to look at is, apart from this, our prepaid, we can now talk about the stock, right? Such as our inventory. So our inventory, that is going to give us like a 00060. Okay. So inventory here is also going to be like, is it going to be inventory as well? The description can be inventory as well, or stocks. Okay, yeah, it's going to be stock and all that. So, and I guess that is like almost the last item before we now come to our property, plant, and equipment. So that means we are making headway. If you can finish this. So now, what industry are we? Again, who can remind me? What industry did I say we are?
Automobile industry.
So
Automobile industry.
what is likely going to be our inventory here?
Like spare parts.
Poker.
Okay, so like your face part, that's
Car
cool.
tires.
So
We
that is
have
going to be,
we can have like engine oils.
yeah. Thank you very much, sir. So that
Yeah.
is spare part actually. So thank you. We can mute our mic now. So that is going to be like our spare parts. Let's just leave it as spare parts so that we can actually have a list of a lot of things, right? That's going to be inventory, but let's just call it like spare part. It makes a lot of sense there. Okay, just call it spare part. So we just say stock, then we now call it spare part. Okay, so spare part. And here also, I think you're also going to have is also going to be stocks because yeah, it's going to be stock. There's going to be stocks or stock, whatever. Then the last one under our asset is going to be our property, which is the if I know that this is most times when you tell people to call the asset that they have, this is what we come to their mind more. Property, plant, and so let me use the other hand and equipment. So that is property, plant, and equipment. We do about another code 0070. So here, the first property, plant, and equipment can be no, you must know that under our property, plant, and equipment, some will be at cost. Then later, we start depreciating them. So when we buy the asset, it's going to be at cost. So we just say costs. Sorry, it's going to be cost dash. We now say land and building. So building. Okay, so land and building. So here is going to be what? Who can tell me what our account type now be? Who can tell me? Our account type, what will we be under our property, plant, and equipment? What's our
Non-current assets.
Non-current assets.
Yeah, so it can be non-current asset, it can be fixed asset. So for different software, they just pick whatever works for them. I think for Zoho Books, what they pick is they pick fixed assets. You just call fixed, just put it like fixed. So it's fixed asset that they actually pick. So that's what we have over there. So we now go further. Apart from our land and building at cost, we can have another thing. We can have plant and machinery. So I'm coming costs dash we can have we have gotten land and building. We can have office equipment. We can have furniture and fittings. We can have as much as we want to have. We can have them. Okay, so let's see what we can have over there. So give me an idea now. What should we put?
You can put motor vehicle.
Okay, so motor vehicle. Yeah, so we can put motor vehicle actually. We can also put plant and machinery. So let's start with plant. Anyone you put is actually fine, provided that you know what you're doing. Plant and is it machinery or machinery? Machinery. Okay, so plant and machinery. This also is a fixed. Sorry, this also is a fixed asset. So like that, we just copy it. So I didn't even finalize it. So it's supposed to be fixed assets, right? Fine. So here also is fixed asset and so on and so forth. So we just copy it and just put it in other places that we need the fixed asset to show. Now the next thing is we want to say costs dash, you can say motor vehicle. You can add that motor vehicle. The next one we can say
Delivery van.
When you already have motor vehicle, why are you calling delivery van again? So we now have cost dash cost dash I'm coming dash, and I'll say office equipment.
Furniture and fitting.
Yeah, furniture and fitting. Cost dash, you can say furniture. Then, and let's use this our hand and fitting. Oh, fitting. So like that. So that's how we're able to get that. So we now come back to our chart of account, our code of account. We just hold it and then we now drag down. Now you see that we've gotten the costs, right? We need the accumulated depreciation now. We need the accumulated depreciation. So now it will surprise you that both our costs and both our accumulated depreciation, they are all going to be under our fixed assets. So people don't know that, but that is how it is in accounting. So normally so it's going to be under our fixed asset, right? It's going to be under our fixed asset. Okay, so that is that. So the reason is because on your statement of financial position, most times that is where we need to get our carrying amount. Now you know that the carrying amount, the carrying amount of an asset is that amount at which an asset is going to be recognized on the face of the financial statement after deducting accumulated depreciation and accumulated impairment losses. So most times our asset is going to be at cost. Then there also in our balance sheet, or which is our statement of financial position, we are going to have our accumulated depreciation. So when you now apply it on it, you discover that we cannot have so what we're going to do is let's just copy all this one like this. Let's copy like this. Then we edit it and put accumulated depreciation in front of it. So we just copy and then we come over here, we come and paste. Then we now edit it and just click and put accum in front of it. Accum. So that's that. We enter, we double click again. So yeah, accum. Yeah, so that's fine. Then come over here also, we double click. Yeah, so we say accum. Okay, makes sense. Then come over here, we double click again, and then we have accum. Then we come here also, we double click, and then we have accum. Okay, so this is how we're able to get our chart of account. So we are done with assets, right? So after asset, the next thing that we follow is our liability. So we can also go and do that for our liability. So instead of us doing that repeatedly and all that, we already have it in this place. So let's just go there and just understand. Now we can now go there and appreciate. At least I've shown us all these steps I've shown us. At least it's going to let us understand how we're able to generate the codes of the account and how we're making it to like an add, right? We also let us to know that, okay, our asset is broken down into like all these 5 or even, is this 6 categories? Yes, so these 6 categories like that. So that if you want to also create yours, you can also create it. So most times your assets, your liabilities, your equity, your operating expenses and your administrative expenses is going to be unique for almost all organizations. The only thing that is going to differentiate your organization from other organizations is your income and your cost of sales. Okay, so let's go back to our chart of account that we have here. Then I want to make it bigger. Okay, so this is what we have over here, and that is what I've shown us. So let me now come to this side so that we can see. Okay, so this is it. So we have our asset, we broke it down, our cash and cash equivalent, and that is what we've done over there. You can see cash, you can see bank. So for our cash, we started with 10, and then when we finish with all the cash, we now go straight to our bank, and our bank is starting from 20, and that's how we're able to achieve that. The next thing we have is, in order of liquidity, we have our account receivables, and that is what we have. We have our other current asset, which is our cash sales. And I was able to explain to us why we need to have our cash sales here, and to let us know that it's different from this our petty cash, because majority of people will say, why are we having petty cash here and all that, right? Although this our cash here, our cash sales, we can also post it under our main cash account, right? Do I have a witness in the house?
Of course.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
Okay. So that's that. So we just listed this like this. So cash sales. Now, if we post it into our main cash account, the problem is that it can module up, it can mix up with a lot of things, right? It can mix up with a lot of things. So it's better we leave it separately so that we can track it and know that, okay, all the money here is our cash sales. Then probably at the end of every period, we can now move it from the cash sales or whatever it is, we can now move it to our main cash account. So that to know that, okay, this is the main cash account. But let it first of all be in our sales account. So that if we want to account for the cash sales per period, we can say, okay, this is the cash sales for May. Unlike when we come to the main cash account where we have all the cash sales that we can ever have, so that it doesn't mix up in action. Does that make sense to us?
Yes.
All right. So now we now have our other current assets, and then I've listed them out. Our staff debtor, our staff work advance, our staff salary advance. Then we can have withholding tax receivable. So this withholding tax receivable is actually that withholding tax that they deducted from your money. Probably you rendered a service to somebody. It's supposed to pay you 100,000, right? It now deducted 5%, or it deducted like 10% from it, and it went to remit it on your behalf to the government, right? So that money is your money. It's like a tax advance, that you pay in advance. So this withholding tax is actually a credit, a withholding tax credit. So it's your money. So it means that you are expecting it by listing it here to let you keep track of all the withholding tax that is actually going to be a credit to your advantage when you want to pay your tax later. So we now continue. We have our prepayment, we have prepaid rent, and so on and so forth. We have inventory, our spare parts. So whatever industry you are, get the stock that can be applicable in that your industry. Okay. Then after that, we have our property, plant, and equipment, which you know that is always going to be at cost. Then you're also going to have your accumulated depreciation separately. And everything, both the cost and the accumulated depreciation, they are all fixed assets. Then the next thing is that I want to come to our liability. Now, the most important liability to us as a company is our trade creditors, people that sell things to us. Now, if we don't prioritize them, they will likely not sell for us on credit any longer. So it's going to come up in order of priority. So our account payables come up first. Then after that, we now have our accruals. Accruals are expenses that are due, but we are yet to settle them, right? Such as we can have accrued salaries and allowances payable. We can have our accrued expenses, value-added tax payable, withholding tax payable, payee, pension payable, employee pension payable, trade payable. Now you're going to understand why I put trade payable here, and also I'm putting our account payable here. Later you understand it, okay? I'm going to tell us later, but not now, okay? Just pen it down somewhere, and then we'll talk about it. Then we have unearned revenue. We have, unearned revenue is also a liability, a revenue that we have received, but we have not earned it, right? So you are still owing. It's just like you borrow somebody's money because you have not worked for it. So we have our staff creditor, we have our opening balance adjustment. So with what we've done, I'm sure you can go back to your chart of account that I've sent to you. You can make more sense from it based on what we've done so far. So here we have other liabilities, which is going to be our long-term. Then we have our equity, which is our owner's interest, our owner's contribution. We have share capital, we have retained earnings, we have drawings, we have prior year adjustment. Then we now come to our income. Because we are in the automobile industry, we are expecting that when we issue out invoices, they are going to charge them procurement fee. They're going to charge them sundry. So sundry is like contingent income, right? In case something happens along the line, we don't want to rush back to go and tell the client that you're still going to pay money. Some clients really get very upset when you are come to them back and forth. You need more money. You have taken money before, you give them invoices then something happen again, you are rushing to go and meet them again, something happen again, you are going to meet them. So it's better you have a contingency funds that you are collecting from them, so that when anything happens to their vehicle along the line, or maybe you need additional team to repair the vehicle, you don't start calling them again or asking them for money. For instance, an example is when you need to wash their vehicle, probably you did not put vehicle detailing before, because vehicle detailing is another income that usually comes up. And this vehicle detailing is when you're washing the vehicle, okay? When you take the vehicle to where they wash it, is vehicle detailing. Then we have spare part income. When those people, when they bring their car, we need to check, diagnose it. What spare part do we need to repair them? So all those spare part is also, you are going to take money for that spare part before you now go to the market to now buy the spare part at a cheaper price. So you are making money from that spare part, right? So spare part, then you go to the market to also buy. Then they also mark up most of these spare parts, which is another secret of the automobile industry, which I'm not supposed to be letting you into, except if you want to pay for consultancy fee, you can meet with me and then I will explain to you. So we have vehicle spare part income, we have vehicle detailing, we have vehicle inspection. We look at that already. We have alignment and rebalancing, right? We have a vulcanizer income and so on and so forth. So I'm talking about an industry or a company that has each of these things, or they have vendors that carry out most of these services for them. So they're going to collect that money, and then they can subcontract it to another vendor, okay? And then they are going to have vulcanizer income and so on and so forth. So that is about the income. Then from the income you're making, you can know the kind of cost of sales you are also going to get. So you can see, since you are collecting money for vehicle workshop income, out of this vehicle workshop income, we know that we have sundry. In case anything happens, we don't want to go back to the client to be asking for more money. So out of that sundry account, we need to take out money from that sundry account to settle that thing. That comes under vehicle workshop. So cost of sales that relates to vehicle workshop income. The next one, we can talk about spare parts. We collected money to buy spare parts, but when we go to the market, we are going to buy spare parts actually. But the amount may not be the same that we collected from the customer, right? We might collect maybe 1.7 from the customer, then we go to the market, we now buy spare part actually. So the spare part we bought probably is 1 million or 700. So then we have our sales, then we are going to also have our cost of sales. Then vehicle detailing. You may have a vendor that normally washes vehicle for you. So you charge the customer a certain amount, you take the vehicle to that place, your third party, or what will I call it now, your whatever it is. The person wash it for you, okay? You make your money, you pay him, you say to him, everybody is fine. So you also have inspection and diagnosis. At times, when you're trying to do inspection and diagnosis, at times the vehicle may be so special that your technician may not be the one that will do the diagnostics for you. So you collect money for inspection and diagnosis. If you have any technician that is going to come and do it for you, you pay the person under cost of sales. Then alignment and rebalancing. You might have a vendor that help you with your alignment and something. You may have an arrangement with them that, okay, any vehicle that comes for alignment and rebalancing, we can give you, okay, we can share the money 50-50. So where you collect 100% here, right? Then 50% comes as vehicle alignment and rebalancing money. So the same thing for the organizer, okay? The same thing for the organizer, you can collect 100% from the customer and share it 50-50 with the person that is going to execute the job. Okay, so that is how we're able to get our income, and also from our income, we can also quickly get our cost of sales. So the last thing we're looking at is operational income, which should almost be unique or the same for all organizations. So take your time to study it. Then your administrative expenses is also going to be unique for all organizations. Now, there are certain technicalities in what we have done, especially in the aspect of our accruals, right? Our accruals, there are certain technicalities in our accrual, especially when it comes to posting. I'm going to show us how to pass journal entries, right? In case you want to create salary control account, you want to pass your control accounts, right? So all these accruals, they are always very technical, and we need to treat it by using journals. Okay. On that note, I think we're done with the first lecture for the first day. So are we together? If you are together,
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Thank you so much.
okay. So time to ask a question. Everybody mute your mic, everybody mute your mic.
I proceed.
Everybody mute your mic.
Thank you, sir.
Everybody mute your mic until I ask you to talk. If there's no question, no need to talk. So let me ask us, if you have any question, you raise your hand. That is how to be civil. If you have any question, kindly raise your hand. Thank you very much. So we start taking question now. The first person on the list is Akin Sikwe, Akin Lami. Yes.
Okay. Good evening. Thank you very much for the class. Very well appreciating and very understandable. My question goes on the current under the assets, sir. Yes, are you hearing me, sir?
Okay, I can hear you. Go on.
Can you hear me, sir? Okay,
I
sir.
can hear you. Go on.
My question is under the it's under the assets. What about situation by where the companies have an investment in a company, other company, or by government and security? How can we classify it under our assets? Is wonder what classification of assets do we place it? The company has investment in another company or with government, maybe bought government security. How can we classify it under the assets? That's my question.
Okay, so most times it's going to be under your non-current asset now. So like your investment, if you are familiar with cash flow statement, right? Under cash flow statement, you always go to, when you are trying to do cash flow statement, you know that you are going to go to you need profit and loss account, you need the current year, then you need your balance sheet, you need the prior year and this year. Okay, so we always have what we call operating activity, we have investing activity, we have financing activity. So if you buy any investment, right, they call it an investing activity, right? So you always see that under your non-current asset. You see investment that you have, you see non-current asset that you have. So put that under your non-current asset. So it's going to be probably, you create a section, right? It can be like even other current assets, right? Or how would I maybe you can just put another section, just call it like investment, but it should be like investment can be a long-term asset. So you can just put it anywhere. It's not a property, it's not a plant, it's not an equipment. So just find a place to put it, right? So, but it's a non-current asset as well. Okay, so maybe it should be a class on its own. So maybe after your property, plant, and equipment, you now leave a space like this, leave a space and just list out all the long-term investment that you have, right? Provided that they are not short-term investment, they are long-term investment, just list all of them and all that. Does that answer your question, sir?
Good, sir.
Does that answer your question,
Good.
sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It's correct.
Thank you.
It's good, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. So you can mute your mic. Then the next person on the call, I will need to call you. Don't Queen Neo. Queen Neo, can you unmute?
Yes, I have done that. Mr. Johnson, good evening. Thank
Good
you
evening,
so much
madam.
for this section. Yes, before I ask my questions, I would want to plead that you can drop the video for us. I struggled to join the call right from the beginning, but it kept saying that the group is full. So I wasn't able to join, but I was trying consistently until after 9 before I was able to join. I missed out a lot on it. I want to catch up. My question is on the non-current assets, where you classify property, plant, and equipment. You see some organizations, they separate their office equipment from computer equipment. Should you advise them, make them, or you can go ahead and treat it individually the way they are classified? It's just that I want to answer.
Okay, so if I Mr. Silvanos, can you mute your mic? Silvanos Aquila, can you mute your mic? Mute your mic, sir.
Yes, I am. You can hear
I
me?
say mute your mic. I'm not done with the first person, sir.
Okay.
Mute your mic, sir. Thank you. So the first lady that asked that question, can you repeat that question again? There was a disruption in your question, so I couldn't hear you clearly.
Okay. So the question, okay, but you heard the part where I was claiming that you dropped the recording for the
Yeah, I
first
heard
round.
I heard that.
Oh, thank you. My question is, there are some organizations that if you're looking at the classification of their fixed assets, they separate their equipment, computer equipment from office equipment. Is it?
That's true. That's true. So you
Okay.
can, you can leave it that way. Yeah, you can leave it that way. So they just want to, it's just based on what they want to achieve, right? They just want to, like, office equipment can be, probably they want to put calculator, they want to put all those things that are not, but when anything that is office equipment, they want to monitor it strictly. So they not put it like an office equipment. So it depends on them. There's no other or fast rule to how you do it. Okay, it depends on the policy of the organization. Okay, at least there is actually a client that I am actually assisting. We are trying to conduct an audit for them. Okay, when they give us their assets schedule, that is also the way they also classify their assets, right? So there's no issue there. It's okay as well. So that is that. Is that fine by you, Madam Queen?
Yes, that's okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. So the other man, Mr. Silvanos, is this still okay? Yeah, Aquila. Sorry for that. Okay, Mr. Silvanos, can you go on now? Is this still on the
Thank
call?
you for the. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
I can hear you. Go on, sir.
Yes, thank you for the lecture. I probably get everything complete, no problem.
Thank you, sir.
Can you hear me? Yes, thank you.
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Okay, sir. No other question, right? So, Mr. Samson Ilowi, can you unmute your mic and speak?
Okay. Good evening, sir. Mr.
Good evening,
Johnson.
sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for all your explanation on this. My question is on the chart of accounts.
Okay.
Is it possible that we have all these chart of account registered on Microsoft Excel and then later import it into the Zoho book? Is that possible?
Yes, that is actually one of the reasons why we have it on Excel first. But another reason why we have it in Excel is because we want to therefore have an orderly account, right? We don't just want to just go on Zoho Books and just start thinking, okay, what should we put? You can just go to you can start from anywhere if you just go straight to Zoho, right? It's better you come on your Excel, think about what you want to create, be orderly about it. You create what you want to impute on Zoho. But when we get to Zoho Books, right, I will also show you how you can export a template from Zoho that is the way the chart of account for Zoho should be. So when you have that kind of template, you can populate it and upload back to Zoho. So that is very easy. But you need to have this Excel that I told you about so that you can have a very clean work. So that you can have a very clean work. You can know that, okay, you have actually captured almost everything you need to capture. And then even in terms of your coding, right? You can see the way we did our coding. So even in terms of your coding, because that's what they also check to be sure that you actually did a good job. You can see the way we did it, and that is it. So I think that should answer your question, sir.
Yes. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. So Ade Toye, Ade Damola, can you go on?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you. Go on. I can hear you.
Okay, please. My question is regarding the pension payable and employer's pension. I really don't get the logic for that. I would like you to put me on it.
Okay, so pension payable and employer payable, right? So now that is just, is that it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so your pension payable and employer payable is that, we're actually talking about the same thing, right? But what we are all just trying to do is that we're trying to differentiate the 10% of the employer from the 8% of the employee. This is that you are taking us to salary computation now, or payroll accounting, right? So you know that naturally your basic housing and transportation, 10% of your basic housing and transportation is your pension, right? So they always deduct it from your salary. So since we've deducted it from your salary, it's our duty to remit it, right? So until we remit it, it's going to be it's going to be a liability in our hand, right? So that's why I think that it is pension payable. So that pension payable that you see can warehouse both the 10% of the employer that the employer is going to contribute, and also the 8% that we deducted from staff. We can warehouse it together in that place. But if you like, you can also separate it like that. You have the 8% separately. You have the 10% that the employer is going to contribute also separately. I hope you understand it, sir.
Yeah, I get, sir. Thank you very much. I was surprised that we differentiated this, but now
Yeah,
I understand the logic behind it.
yeah,
Thank you for the class. I'm very, very grateful.
yeah. Thank you too for joining. So the next person is Oladapo Fadamiro. Sorry if I didn't get your name. It's Oladapo. You have the floor.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, my question is pretty direct. I wanted to know how the chart of accounts of a non-profit organization would look like, because I'm aware that those kind of organizations do not have or may not have inventories and the likes. So I'm trying to, I've been doing a lot of research actually, and I've not gotten a good answer on that. So I want to know what's the charts of accounts of a non-profit organization would look like as against a production company or a company that does sales and services.
Okay. So I think basically, um, now what differentiates each company is their income streams and their cost of sales, right? So, Madam Grace, can you mute your mic? So, what differentiates Madam Grace Igiri? Can you mute your mic? So, what differentiates each industry is their income streams and also their cost of sales. So, there's also something they call other income. So, if you are not somebody that you sell things, right? You can also get gifts, donations, so you can put them other incomes. So instead of you having income that we're having over here, you can simply put all your incomes, instead of you calling it what is that place? Okay, liability and equity. So income, instead of you putting it other income, you can put it other income. So you just list out all the other incomes that you have. And it's not necessary for you to have an inventory since you are not selling anything, right? So it's not all companies that should have inventory. If you're not selling anything, then you don't need to have inventory. So it's even an automobile industry, not all the time that they will also have to get that. There's one form of accounting that I cannot remember now. There's one form of accounting that yeah, there's one form of accounting that there's a form of accounting, I can't remember it. When we're still doing PM in those days, they told us about those kind of accounting that I can't remember it. So that kind of accounting, you don't need to have inventory at all. So you just, whenever you need, you just get it and sell. So that is that method that you can. So it's not all companies that must have. Hey, thank you, sir. Just in
That
time.
one is called just in time.
Yes,
It's
yes.
just in time.
Yeah, thank you. So you see that it's not all companies that we have. In fact, to even be on a safe side, okay, in order not to tie your income, because obviously this is your inventory. It's just tying your income. If you look at what is the name of that thing? Cash flow statement. They always tell us about when you buy more inventory and inventory increases, more money has gone out, right? So inventory is tying down your money. So most times it's not by force for you to have inventory. If you don't have inventory, it's fine. So I think what you should be particular about is that your company may not actually have cost of sales. It might not also have income, but it's going to have probably other incomes. So other incomes can be either donations that you get, it can be gifts, it can be what is that other thing now? There is this other grants that you applied for.
Yes.
So all those things can be other incomes. You may not have cost of sales, and you're still fine. You're still good.
Okay.
So now don't forget that your cost of sales, your expenses, they are also expenses. These three, they are expenses. So if you don't have cost of sales, you have expenses, and you will still get your answer. Your account will still be fine. So that is that.
Okay.
Does that answer your question, sir?
Yes, that's fine. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. So, Madam Grace Igiri, can you go on?
Okay, good evening, sir.
Good evening, madam.
Okay, thank you so much for the amazing lecture. It was very impactful. Thank you. May God continue to strengthen you. Okay, I just want to know, in the group, we have over 1,000 people in the group. And then this this platform they're using for the training can only take about 100.
Yes.
Is there any plan you have in place, to make provision for something bigger that will accommodate more people, maybe moving forward, since it's a 1-month program, so that other people can take advantage of this free opportunity you are giving us?
Okay, I will work on that. Now, like the other, what's it called, the Excel that we are doing, most people that are not able to join, they usually check the video on YouTube. Okay, so I will work on that. Just leave that to me. So we are still going to have another training tomorrow. So today I will talk to my technical team. We look at how to expand the numbers of participants that can join the training. So we can expand it, fine. If we're not able to expand it, we might think of alternative, right? Probably we can
but you're
have,
going to share this video in the
yes,
YouTube,
that's why
right?
we are
So that
coding it.
anybody, okay,
That's why we're coding it.
okay,
Yeah.
no problem. Thank you so much. And so, moreover, this chart of accounts that we built today, are you going to share it, or would you just make use of the one that you gave us earlier on?
Yes, you have that we waked up. It is the same thing now. The one I gave you
Okay.
earlier on is the same thing.
It's the same thing. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, Mr. Matthew Thompson, can you quickly ask your question?
All right. Good evening, Mr. Johnson.
Good evening,
And
sir.
thank you so much for this awesome class. Okay, my question is about the differentiation between trade payable and account payable, because I've seen financial statements where, especially statement of financial position, where it's more like those two terms, they are used interchangeably. You either see account payable or trade payable. And then the second question is, if Zoho is kind of NGO setup there. So I don't know if that is visible or can be gotten from Zoho Books. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so can you repeat the last question again? I didn't get the last question.
Okay, my last question is, if Zoho Book can be used by NGO, that I know that QuickBooks, a lot of NGO use QuickBooks, but because of the NGO setting or kind of NGO organization that you can get from QuickBooks when setting up a company profile on QuickBooks.
Okay, thank you very much. Will I say, okay, yeah, the first question you asked was the difference between account payable and what is the account payable and what? Trade payable.
Trade payable.
Okay, trade payable, account payable. I think they are the same. They're just using them interchangeably. Account payable, trade payable. account payable. So I don't know. You know, when you talk about trade payable, you are specific, right? You are specific, like these are the people that you normally buy goods from. Okay, those are your creditors. So that is the trade payable. So I think it's the same thing. They're just using it interchangeably because I wouldn't want to say account payable is going to be used for the other accruals that we have. No. So I think they are just using it interchangeably, right? So your account payable and your trade payable should be the same thing. Okay, so another thing, hold on. When you talk about trade payable, you are being specific. Those are your vendors, the people that supply goods that you are using for your actual trade. For instance, if you are into the sales of let's say you are a furniture, you are into the sales of all those furnitures, right? You have people that are supplying you plywood. Okay, they are supplying you 2x2, 2x4 plywood. So this kind of people, if you are all those kind of people, you can call them trade payable. Then when you now have other people that are other vendors, right, that are not they are not actually supplying you everything that you are selling in your organization that you use to sell, you can call them account payable. So I think that is a better way to see it, and that makes sense. Do you understand that, sir? The man is no longer, I hope he's still here. Then the next question you asked is that you said, what is the other question? Yeah. So all accounting software, right, can be used for any industry. When we started this training, I also checked when we are looking at how to select the industry that we have, there's a place we went to that we saw non-for-profit organization. So for an NGO, you actually choose that industry. Now, the kind of industry you choose or you pick is what forms the kind of chart of account that Zoho is going to produce for you. Okay, that is the kind of chart of account that will be imported into your company. Okay, so it's actually good for any organization. So, Madam Precious and Kechi, let's have your question. Hello, Madam Precious Kechi. Are you there, or can anybody hear me? If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Okay, people can hear me, but Madam Precious, I don't know if she cannot hear me. Okay, so on that note, we've already passed our lecture time. It's already 10:20. So I wanted Madam Precious to ask her last question, but it's obvious our network is not allowing her to do that. So let's leave it like that. For those people asking if the call is recorded, yes, we are recording the class, okay? And